Damo, welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome to have you on Word on the Street. I've been hanging out for this one for a while. I think quietly, you're one of my favourites. So,
Don't tell anyone else.
No, exactly. No, it's our little secret. But it's awesome just to catch up, talk about everything in the rental space today. I think you spend more time in front of the camera than I do at the moment, but so you'll be pretty good at this. Most people probably, well, not everyone, but the importance of having a BDM in your business.
Yep.
I've probably learned over the last 5 years how crucial your role is, and we don't take it for granted. And so today I'm really excited just to talk about what you do, how you do it, and how much we value it as a group. So, but I want to start with who you are first, because I think it's always good to talk about just who you are as a person and what you do. We're both girl dads,
Yes.
which we share in common, which is pretty cool.
We both worked at KFC in our younger days.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, do you remember those? Yeah, absolutely. First job, KFC, 14 and 9 months. Mum shipped me off. Were you a chef there? Or
And then I worked my way up to
manager. Did you burn your arms?
Multiple times.
God, I came out scarred, I reckon, burning them on the... And that, kids are still doing that to this day. So, yeah, absolutely. But a good grounding, KFC. I probably ate too much of it. Don't know about you, but as you can tell, I probably ate too much of it. But absolutely. I haven't sent my girls there, actually. They prefer Maccas. But anyway, we'll get them into KFC. We'll keep it on real estate. So in terms of who you are and what you do, you've been with us, what now? Is it?
So 4 years now.
4 years, brilliant. It's been the best job you've ever had, I hope. But fill me in. Who is Damo? How did you end up here? And why do you think you've slotted into this role so well?
Yeah, totally. So I started in real estate in 2008. So I was about 22 years old at the time.
A wee pup.
Yeah, wee pup. Yes, just kind of fell into real estate after KFC and working at Bush Juice for a while and not knowing what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
I worked in a sales role for 10 years across 3 offices. Yeah. And then I just wanted a bit of a change. Yeah. And I decided to become a business development manager. And then, I've worked with you for the past 4.5 years now, I believe.
What's obvious for me, and I don't think I've ever told you this, is you've got... We joke about being girl dads, but you've really got that part of your life balanced. Like I've learned a lot from you in terms of where your priorities lie. Yep. In a sales role, it can be all consuming sometimes and take you away from the things that are really important. Yep. I guess I get a sense from you that you really value that balance piece. Definitely. And being able to be at home with the family. Yes. I think that's really important. But still, when you work, which is a credit to you. Yep. And can you explain that balance piece for me, like in terms of how you manage that?
It is tricky to get right sometimes. Working in a sales role, it's a lifestyle. Being a real estate sales consultant, it's a lifestyle. It's 6-day weeks, long hours. You're doing deals at midnight and waking up early and doing all those good things. That wasn't the type of lifestyle I wanted. I valued the home life a bit more. So I, as you said, I do find that balance, and I don't work so many Saturdays anymore. Thanks to you for that.
I think you loved me when I told you no more Saturdays, Damo. Yep. That was good. I think that was the right change to make, but we still call on you when we need to on bits and pieces, because the group. And I'm keen to talk today about the growth in your role in the group overall, because you've been a huge contributor to it, and because of that contribution, we can do so much more as a business. It's amazing when you've got equity behind you, what you can do. Yep. And it's a credit to you, mate. You've helped me build it to levels that I didn't think was ever possible. So I'm going to talk all day to you. So do you want to? I'll get to the questions, right? Okay. Because otherwise we'll just sit here hanging out and everyone will fall asleep. So, but I got 4 questions. We'll stick to them and just let's see where the conversation takes us, right? So, the first one, which I really want to know, is we're just going to keep it at the top 3, but the top 3 skills you believe are success. I'll get my words out. Essential. I'm battling the man cold. Are essential to succeed in your role. What would you say the top 3 things are?
Probably the most key thing that is important is the ability to build rapport quickly with people.
Everyone likes you, Damo.
I try.
Even the camera guys like you.
Most people. Don't know about Louis.
Yeah.
No, definitely the ability to build rapport quickly with people is the key thing. The brand
trust. Do you get trust? Yeah. Because you don't lose much.
Correct.
Like your strike rate, because we watch it together, is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like you would have to be, without pumping your tires up too much. I hate saying you're the number one anything, but you are really good in this marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I treat it as a bit of a compliment when you're approached every second month for a job. It's kind of like, okay, we must be doing something right here.
Yes.
So, and you don't use that to your advantage with me too much, but you know, it's actually cool to know that you're wanted, right?
Yeah.
You're the number one guy at the bar, right?
Yeah.
All the girls want to date you. So,
yeah.
Which is pretty cool. So, and that's because I think you are good at effectively connecting with people, right?
Yep.
So that's number one. What else you got?
A sense of urgency is very important. I find that sometimes I'm just winning business because the other agent who was contacted first hasn't gotten back to the people. So if someone wants a letter of appraisal or a proposal or to meet up for an appraisal, an appointment, just do it straight away.
Yeah,
I'm generally out there within 24 hours.
It's not rocket science, is it?
It's not. It's
but
easy.
Your speed of service is good, and I noticed through our lead generation systems from sales team to you, like you're on it, but you treat the sales agents like they're your client.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Which is what I noticed, and your speed of service back to them, is actually culturally really powerful. And obviously we bring you into our sales meetings, and you're updating everyone on every lead and where it's at.
Yep.
And everyone has. I think the feedback is they just feel comfort knowing that you're on it.
Yeah. And the sales team are my number one referral source. They do give about 50% of the leads that are lists.
Yeah.
So, and that comes with time because they didn't know who I was at the start. They didn't know my skills. I think you had a few BDMs prior to me that maybe weren't as professional. But I just wanted to show that the sales team that they can trust me with their clients.
Yeah. And that's paying dividends for you, which is awesome. And we've got one more left. You got a third one for me?
Yes. Professionalism.
Oh yeah, crazy concept.
Yeah, I know. It's important that you know your stuff, and I've been around for a long time now. I understand I do have a bit of a head start in regards to some of the other agents in the area, but I made a point really early on in my career to learn as much as I could. So I was learning about development, I was learning about titles and how transfers happen, and just how real estate really operates and really works.
Yep.
And not only that, but it's also what interests people as well, because that's part of having a chat with people and building rapport is know a little bit about flower arranging, or know a little bit about landscaping, or know a little bit about cars. So when you're walking around someone's house, you can say, that's a VL turbo over there. And then you just have a
clue.
Yeah.
Unreal. Maybe talk a bit of golf.
A bit of golf, yeah.
And talking about education, because you are... and it's a credit to you. You're doing the course I did 20 years ago.
Yes.
I could probably give you some of my assignments, but how are you finding that? Like you're growing yourself, which is pretty cool. It's pretty rare that a BDM is in a full-blown bachelor degree.
Yes.
In property.
Double.
Yep, didn't mean to talk it down. But back in my day, they just called it a bachelor, but or a postgrad. But well done. I mean, how you find the course? Because you're about halfway through it, right?
Just over halfway through now, so I'll finish it by the end of next year. But so I'm doing Bachelor of Commerce and a Bachelor of Property and Real Estate in my own hours after work.
Just fit that in your spare time.
Fit that in, yeah. So instead of watching Married at First Sight, I'll be watching a uni lecture.
Yeah, but why? I never asked you this. Why did you want to do it?
Growth.
Yeah.
Growth. I don't like to stay stagnant. It will give me options down the track in regards to what I want to do professionally.
Yeah, you're not leaving me, are you?
No, eventually. Yeah.
Everyone leaves you, it's just a matter of time. That's okay. Yeah.
It's for growth, and it's really has helped me with the ability to connect with some better educated people than I am as well. So I can sit down with people and talk about cash flow, yield, exactly.
Know what it means.
Yeah, depreciation.
Value rates. Yep. Brilliant, mate. That's awesome. We've got the first question out of the way. We've got a few more to go.
Yep.
Right. Challenges. Well, everyone's got challenges in their role.
Yes.
Everyone approaches them differently. And so this question is I really want to get your take on it. So in terms of the biggest challenges you're facing in growing our rent roll in the current climate, what are you seeing out there?
It's interesting because we're dealing with more of a macroeconomic environment at the moment, in the sense that land tax has recently gone up for investors, and there's more compliance regulations around what a landlord has to do to have an investment property. So we have seen a lot of existing landlords leave us by selling their assets or moving back into them. And the new landlords coming into the marketplace, they're harder to find at the moment, but we are starting to see more interstate landlords coming into the Victoria market currently, because Victorian prices are quite cheap in comparison. One thing that happens once the leads do contract in the rental space and in the sales space as well is that your competitors out there start to reduce the fees that they're offering, which is sometimes hard to combat when you've got a landlord that doesn't understand the value that a good agency can bring to the piece. So it's not an efficient way to run a business to be taking on cheap fees. So we don't get into those fee type of fights. I'm happy to walk away from leads if it's from business, if it doesn't make sense for the business. But that's one thing that we're coming up and seeing some of our competitors just offering really, really cheap fees.
It's a legacy piece too, because it's, in sales you see it as well. But for me, sometimes that deal is done and dusted, money's in, money's out potentially.
Yeah.
But with rentals, it's a legacy piece. The cheap fee hurts you for a long period of time, right? So, and you and I talk about what our minimum benchmarks are, and one of the questions in here in a minute we'll get to. It just triggered me though, because what people always briefed me that coming to Jellis Craig was going to change your clientele base, it was going to change your revenue base, it was going to change a lot. And it's been a really nice gradual increase, and we're still going, which is awesome. But for our business, I reckon the first time I started to see the change was in your business, because our rentals change, our average rental values changed, our average management fees. Some months you're breaking $2,000 a property, which is brilliant to see from an asset perspective. How you found that? How have you found the change in client and the type? Because naturally, what happens is you get more dollar in your back pocket, which is always nice at the end of the day. But what I'm noticing is just the change in clientele, particularly in the BDM space, was the first thing to hit the business.
Really. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if you look at our average rent on our REA profile, realestate.com profile, we do have the highest average rent of our major competitors in this area. We're no longer playing so much in that apartment and unit space, but we're being trusted more so with the brand new 4-bedroom townhouses, Beachside Heights, Beachside Cheltenham as well. So with the Jellis Craig brand change, almost immediately, we started getting more office call-ins from clients that had better quality properties that know the brand, trust the brand, obviously. So the brand does carry so far. And that's the clientele that we're dealing with at the moment.
It's brilliant, mate. And let's hope it continues. And I think it will, naturally. And you as the individual have to support that brand.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And I think you have, which is brilliant. So well done. The next one I really like to know, because you and I talk about this a lot, and everyone responds differently to it, but the metrics, I want to know more about how you're measuring your success as a BDM. What are you doing, during the week and during the month to make sure you're on track?
Yeah, so we run a dashboard. So the dashboard shows everything that the property management team is doing for that month, and we run it for the whole financial year. And it's everything. It's from properties that were brought on, properties that have leased, properties that have been lost. We're looking at all different metrics. So the amount of properties, net gain or net loss for the month, mostly net gain, average management fees, dollar percentage wise, asset value as well. So has the property portfolio grown over the time? It's one thing to look at your number of listings and say, I listed 15 properties, I'm so good. But if you've listed 15 one-bedroom apartments that have difficult landlords and bad fees, you're not doing so well. So we try to look at the whole pie as opposed to just individual slices of that pie. And at the end of the month, we sit down together and we go, okay, have we grown this thing or have we not? And more so than not, we have, which is good.
Yeah, actually, I think if we look back, in a 12-month cycle, you've net gained every month bar one, which is pretty awesome.
And I think that was a month I was away.
Yeah, it was. Don't do that again to me, okay? No more European holidays in November.
No promises.
Yeah, exactly. You're allowed one a year. And if you can do that, fantastic. Good on you. Yep. But genuinely, because I have to report into everyone, to show everyone that the asset they've invested in what was probably a tight real estate market in the last 12 months, the business probably net gain more than most. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
And again, I don't know how to compare, and I don't want to compare. I want to run my own race, but well done. Like, the asset has grown month on month on month, which is an awesome thing.
Yep.
So, and the measurement tools, I think now, when we created them at day one, I think people talk about, I don't know how many people actually watch. We can watch to the dollar our equity value on a daily basis. So we know exactly where the position of the asset's sitting on every day, which is pretty cool.
That's right.
And I'm happy to be transparent with it, right?
Yeah.
Some people might find that a little bit vulnerable.
Yes.
But I think we want to take, without putting the pressure back on you, I want you to own with me that we're growing this thing.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is great. So the last one, and then we'll finish up. The the balance piece. So how do you balance short-term growth goals with maintaining our long-term client relationships?
It's an interesting question that you asked, because I believe your short-term links to your long-term, because your long-term relationships will become your short-term growth goals. So it is important that you are maintaining those long-term relationships with clients. So when they are ready to rent out their property or bring it across from another agency because they're not happy with their service, that short-term growth will grow really quickly.
Yep. You've got a really good funnel. Like your pipeline is incredible.
Yep.
You're not scrounging for business on any given week, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and look, I do miss some business, but if you've got 10 leads in the air and you lose 2, you still got 8 that you're going to secure. But if you have 2 leads in the pipeline and you lose both, then you've got nothing.
Yeah. Now, do you know how much growth you've incrementally had in your business in the last quarter? Like you have, I don't know if we've put a percentage to it, but you're going to break on average 15 to 20 new landlords every month. Breaking 20 landlords, new clients into this business every month is an incredible feat, and you do it with ease now. And that's clearly as a result of maintaining these relationships.
Correct.
And I'm amazed at how many landlords inquire with you. And then don't do anything for 6 months. Rentals for me is like almost a quicker business, but it's actually turning the opposite. People are starting to research you. 6 months out, aren't they?
People will approach me on LinkedIn. I've got a little bit of a network with buyers advocates as well that will refer clients to me. It's not just so much relying on what the office does, but it's also making sure that network is nice and strong. Recently, I had 3 properties for taking over management from another agency, which was referred to me from another BDM, from another brand in the marketplace. That was outside of their client's marketplace, but they trusted me with their business. So
brilliant.
It's
just testament. Everyone loves you, Damo. They all love you, mate.
Me included.
Oh, right. Yeah, true. Let's not forget him. All right. Well, thank you, mate. Good chat, as always. Looking forward to seeing how this one comes out. And let's do it again. Let's do this. Let's make this an annual thing. If you want to hang out with me once a year, that'd be nice. Next week, I'll be busy, but hanging out with the kids on our school holidays. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed the chat, and looking forward to seeing how we finish off the fin year.
I better go list some properties.
Absolutely, mate. You've got 2 weeks left. All right, hurry up. All right, well done. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate
it. Yeah, awesome.